tell.
Live from Albuquerque. It's Friday morning. It's happening. To quote Ron Paul.
I don't see us on the street.
It's behind.
Oh, it's fucking behind. By like what, 3 years?
No. You can hear us driving up right now.
Oh man. Oh, you're weirdos. Okay. Guys, oh, I should let you know.
You're live to the whole world.
Yeah.
You're on television.
Pants,
Say something, damn it.
$14.88. For real. Costco is a great deal.
Actually, that is true. Costco, on the first clearance thing, they drop it to 97 cents on the dollar. Then the second one goes to 88 cents.
It's a beautiful thing.
So if something
What's
drops.
this? There's like a bunch of hearts here and somebody's face.
Oh, I think it's the. It looks kind of like the face of the shooter. You know, that Sam Hyde guy.
You can't keep getting away with this. Okay. Okay. I don't think they can see things on phones. So I don't know if you're showing that.
No, yeah.
It's lame. Nobody
But
likes that.
should we just inform the world about what happened with the shooting and so forth, the shots fired situation?
Huh? What? Oh, shots fired. It was just road rage. It's some normal Albuquerque thing.
Yeah.
They started a campaign, and then of course we just started noticing a lot more.
Rest in peace, Lily Garcia.
Oh yeah, that was awful. Actually.
Yeah, she was a 4-year-old girl who was killed on I-40 in a road rage incident.
But why was she driving?
A year and a half ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, what happened the other night was that some guy was, I guess it was like 1:30. I don't know. They said it was like 1:30, but I guess it started on I-40, which is
that's the police.
Which is a good
We didn't
probably
do anything.
hour or so. We didn't do nothing.
Didn't do nothing.
It's probably
trying
good.
to get our life together.
Yeah.
Streets back.
Going to church every week, trying to get our lives back on track.
Exactly.
We need more money for the programs, but yeah, basically I-40 is a few miles from here, and they drove down here to this little traffic circle over at 7th Street and Central, where they got out of the car. The perp whose name was Smotherman.
I don't care, man. I'm just too excited.
Well, anyway.
Who cares?
Well, anyway, he fired a few shots. It's unclear as to whether or not it was in the air or at Martinez, the guy he was having the road rage incident with. But yeah, they had a scuffle, and then they both got in their cars and drove away. But they both were picked up. I believe Smotherman was arrested. You know, there's drug possession charges and so forth. The guy that he assaulted isn't pressing charges. But anyway, had nothing to do with the stream whatsoever. It started miles away from here on I-40. So, yeah.
Let it happen. I don't care if it's been done before.
Thanks for saying that.
What? Huh? What? Oh.
What? Breezy, cool, and nice, and innocent shoes off. All right. Best Italian pop song ever.
Yeah, that one is actually pretty good.
Anyway.
Wow, we're so late. We're like the only people here.
What is it that Russell Crowe says? Till lambs become lions, rise and rise again. So apparently we didn't start a fire because the stream's back online, which is good.
Fire is not MO.
Actually, that actually was some really interesting Albuquerque stuff that happened. A church it was right across the street from an abortion clinic that ran a anti-abortion thing. They got firebombed a couple months ago.
Yeah, that is a thing though.
Yeah, and then he went on to firebomb like 4 Starbucks,
And there was,
Barnes and Noble, and Old Navy.
and there was like one, another, yeah.
Oh, and he
there's no
firebombed
bias.
the condominium complex.
Yeah, well, they deserve it though for being condominium. Oh no, I accidentally just went to the stream.
Oh no, sorry about that.
Watching ourselves on the stream lag is just kind of a little lame.
Yeah, also.
Give us a stare, daily cuck, lols. Okay. Should just start saying random shit, make people think we're actually, reading out stuff.
Oh.
What?
Here, yeah, I'll pull out my phone and then I'll just put it in this one. Here, I'll pull out my phone and I'm just gonna look at it. I'm not even gonna turn it on. I'm just gonna I'm gonna scroll on it with my glove and I'm gonna pretend that these are like the touch sensitive gloves. So I'll just like scroll like this and I'll be like, I'm not gonna say that on stream. Seriously, what's wrong with you?
Ew. Something
deep
about
deep scrolling. Oh, we always talked about that OJ thing we were watching.
Oh yeah, that was kind of interesting. I kind of feel bad for Rob Kardashian.
Yeah, basically, so
OJ killed him.
So Ross basically makes Rob Kardashian look like a saint, apparently.
Total saint.
I'm pretty certain the Armenian Apostolic Church is going to canonize him very soon. Based on the hagiography of OJ, what is it, the People versus OJ. In terms of whether or not OJ did it, when people ask him, his first thing he says is, I loved her. And I'm like,
I'm on speed.
Well, he keeps saying, like, I really loved her. And I'm like,
yeah, he definitely killed her.
Yeah, exactly, because it's like, well, if you were indifferent towards her, you probably would have been like, oh, she was hanging out with, like Ron Goldman. I mean, I feel really guilty because I just saw that bit from his dad about how complaining about how he was a footnote in his own murder, which is a completely legitimate criticism because he was a young man who was murdered in murdered in his youth, which is a very horrible thing and was completely overshadowed by the trial. And of course, I don't know anything about that trial because I was barely around when that happened.
No, Father. Don't be giving out things like that. Now they know that you were not aware at that time. He was in a mental institution, so his faculties weren't there. It's okay. Well, that's gold. I don't know what else to do.
Oh.
Except for flash my tits, but I'm not gonna do that. It's too cold.
Would that get you placed then as like waifu and whore and?
No, I think I just go straight to whore.
Yeah.
That's usually what happens. Lots of ordination is straight to whore. Oh, here's the cops.
Oh, maybe the cops will come talk to us.
Oh, hi, cops.
Blue Lives Matter.
Blue Lives Matter, we love you.
Well, what are some good red pills to drop? I mean, there's ibuprofen, because ibuprofen tablets are often red, unless they're the IV, in which case they're orange. And then, Tylenol gel caps are red.
What color's that terrible, woman's Viagra?
Oh, yeah.
It's really white.
Yeah, that was a really, really odd drug. Yeah, basically they wanted to make a woman's Viagra, and it increased, was one orgasm per month. Really.
It was, not statistically significant at all.
Yeah, it was not a statistically significant difference.
It was ridiculous. It's bad.
I don't know why they bring these things to market. Seriously, we need to get Martin Shkreli down here. Pharma Bro, seriously, please, come to Albuquerque and lay down some red pills on camera down here. Because I know that you don't have, a way to do that from New York. because, you know, it's not like you're way, way, way more famous than any of us, and it's not like you don't constantly do streams where you argue with people that get, you know, tons
Isn't
of
he
views.
part of the Albania Mafia or something?
I don't know.
I didn't know they had one.
And you have to get permission from the judge to come here anyway, so. Farmer Bro did nothing wrong.
It's true. Well, I mean...
Well, he may have run a Ponzi scheme, but...
Who hasn't done that? It's a reverse funnel system.
Yeah, it wasn't a Ponzi scheme, it was a reverse funnel system.
Yeah.
Okay, I just got a text from someone.
Uh-oh.
Probably. No. Oh, it's Kekison.
Ah. Chief Sitting Pole. I like that name. Or Hot Rosie O'Donnell. Which, yeah. He is more attractive than Rosie O'Donnell.
You know what would be a good thing is to fully flesh out the whole Assad did nothing wrong. Because, you know, it's fun to meme something like that, but that also needs to be explained.
Oh, go for it.
So, basically context, Syrian Civil War. So, it's been going on for, goodness, better part of a decade now. But how did this all start? So, where it begins is with hydraulic fracturing. So, in the United States, our oil companies invented this incredible technology to extract even more oil and natural gas out of pockets, basically using high pressure water to, you know, knock it out and get it to pump up. So, what this resulted in was the price of natural gas in the United States toppled overnight, as did the price of oil. So the United States went, as many of you know, from being a net oil importer to a net oil exporter. We are now that once again. We have not been that since the 70s, when our conventional oil resources hit the peak. Hubbard's peak, which is fallacious because he did not account for the fact that there is oil that requires more more joules basically to extract, so it's less efficient, but it means that you're not gonna. It's not like a traditional Pennsylvania
Get
oil
to the good
well.
stuff, man.
Okay. Anyway, so what that means is that natural gas has tanked. There's not much of a market for it.
Tanked.
So natural gas in the Middle East. So if you want to get it from the Middle East somewhere else in the world, what you need to do very often is you compress it into liquefied natural gas. That takes energy, and then you ship it. So you want to get it to the EU, which is cold.
We go over here.
You got to compress it, you know, in the
we
Persian
gotta
Gulf. It goes all the way around the Arabian Peninsula, and then it goes up to the Suez Canal. You pay the Egyptians their toll, and then you go up and you offload it in some port in like Italy or Greece.
Exactly.
So the Emir of Qatar and the King of Saudi Arabia, they said, hey, you know what? The Americans are killing us. The Russians are killing us. You know, we're not making good deals anymore. We need to make Qatar and Saudi Arabia great again. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask President Assad in Syria if we can build a pipeline to Turkey through eastern Syria in order to pipe natural gas to the EU and undercut the Russians. So President Assad says, well, you guys have always kind of been dicks to me. And, well, I'm an Alawite, he says. And so Alawites are I'll explain that later, but they're honorary Shia Muslims, and now Iraq, because of the fall of the Hussein regime,
they identify as Shia's gender.
Because of the fall of the Hussein regime, they are they're now basically a Shia-ruled country. And then you have Iran, and so Iran and Iraq and Syria are like, hey, why don't we build a pipeline to the Mediterranean? So Assad says, I think I'll go for that instead. Well, Qatar and Saudi Arabia weren't happy with that, so they said, hey, al-Baghdadi, we would love to send you troops and money, and amphetamine, like tons of methamphetamine, so that your guys can fight for hours and hours. Ah.
It's fucking snowing, guys.
Yeah, in Albuquerque, that's a good
It's a Christmas miracle.
Exactly.
In February. It's a February 24th miracle.
Well, anyway, so the sitting Secretary of State of the United States at the time that this was going on, so her basically her chief of staff and her best friend, Huma Abedin, is Saudi and she has lots of connections in the Middle East, and so Qatar and the Saudi Arabia donated tons of money to her personal slush fund, also known as the Clinton Foundation. And they also basically gave guarantees to donate tons of money to her eventual presidential election bid, which they made good on in 2016. And so, thus began the CIA doing things like making dead drops of money from helicopters into the night, weapons caches. So the ISIS, they fight very often with 5.56 NATO rounds and AR-15 platform weapons like M4s, M16s. Whereas the Syrians are fighting with things like AK-74s and the 7.62 39 type rounds. That indicates something that, like for example, what did Senator John McCain do recently? Just yesterday or something?
He's like, hey, Syria.
He went and he met with the Syrian rebels.
Yeah.
And the Syrian rebels, yeah, there are different groups. So there's basically two groups. There is Al Qaeda and ISIS or Daesh. Al Qaeda has renamed itself. They try to rebrand as Al Nusra, Al Jisha Islam, but
they
basically
they're the same thing as Al Qaeda. Netflix tried to do a few years ago.
Yeah. So so it's Al Qaeda and it's ISIS, and they're battlefield allies. They do have differences. They don't agree. And then there's also Turks, because the Turks want the pipeline as well. That's why the Turks have been throwing people in as well. So basically, what the situation that happened is that we were like, oh, we're all gung-ho supporting the rebels back in 2012. President Obama put down the red line. If they use chemical weapons, we'll put boots on the ground and throw out Assad. Assad must go. Assad must go. The Assad must go curse, because every single politician who said that is now gone, except for, Assad. Well, he didn't say that, but yeah, all the politicians who said that are basically gone now. And Assad is still there, and Putin is still there.
Oh.
So yeah, so the sitting Secretary of State of the United States took bribes from foreign governments to orchestrate our involvement in creating a civil war in Syria. That is what happened. So Assad did not start the civil war. He's not some brutal, evil dictator who's hated. He's like this nerdy ophthalmologist who was practicing medicine in London.
Yes, seriously.
His in-laws live in London, and people protest outside their house all the time. His father-in-law is a doctor. His wife is a doctor.
His father, the original Assad, changed the constitution in Syria to make it so non-Muslims could be president of Syria. Throwing that out there.
Oh yeah, and so we should give a shout out to base Representative Tulsi Gabbard. She's a Democratic representative from Hawaii. She's a American Samoan. Half, right?
She's also Hindu. She's not perfect, but she actually met with Assad. Because she's like, hey, you know what? We're going to try for peace in Syria and stop,
so she
messing
and
up
Senator
Syria.
and former Senator Kucinich went out there to talk with them. I
think Kucinich just hangs out there.
So, thanks Obama for not getting us involved in the Syrian civil war on the side of ISIS completely. For the past few years, we've been doing the horrible thing of giving them aid with guns and money. Like, McCain was questioned about his contacts, I think by, what's-his-face, Chaffetz? And it turned out it was like 8 guys, like literally 8 guys that they were just like giving millions of dollars to, and ammunition and guns and grenades and so forth. Those guys were just like, they're the free democratic rebels. They're just giving it and they turning over right over to ISIS.
Rebels. No. Yeah. No. But I think it was Rand Paul, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who was just saying how if we're giving money to people who are obviously they're against Assad, but they're obviously associated with ISIS and Al Qaeda or Al Nusra or whatever the fuck they want to be now. It's not going to have a good time. We shouldn't do this. And everyone else is like, no, that's not going to happen.
And
guess what? It happened.
So, spoiler alert.
It happened.
Assad is democratically elected.
No. Really?
Yeah. So he's called, dictator, but he actually was democratically elected. And in the areas of Syria that he has political control of via the military, now they haven't had elections in a while because of the war. He's very, very popular. Like, very popular.
They had an election like 2014.
They may have, but and you know why Assad's popular in those areas?
Because he takes care of them.
Because those people don't want to fucking die.
They don't like getting murdered by ISIS just as much as the next person.
Exactly.
Also, Alawites. if we're going on the topic of Muslims, so you're familiar with Sunni, the really scary ones, and Shia, the Iran ones.
Well, they were really scary in like '79.
Yeah, it's so 1979. But Alawite is this random small group of Muslims that mainly only come from Syria and have a lot of weird non-Muslim traditions, like believing in a trinity and celebrating mass. And yeah, it's kind of weird.
They're like kind of like the Druze in Lebanon or something.
And guess
It's
what?
kinda like
Sunni
this-
Muslims hate them. ISIS hates them.
Yeah.
So, Assad?
So
Alawite.
Assad is a minority religious group. He's from
Mhm.
a minority religious group, and he protects the rights and liberties of the other minority religious groups.
Like the Christians.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And so, it's just amazing how much disinformation there is that goes out. And you know what's hilarious? In 2012, back when the U.S. involvement was beginning, John Stewart of Comedy Central, he decided to play this clip of Charlie Rose interviewing him, and he was like, you know, we should talk to the guy that we're thinking about bombing. I'm going to write down what I think he says. And of course, President Assad goes on very articulately, says, no, I think it would be a very horrible idea for America to bomb Syria. It would very much destabilize things. You'd be supporting the people who did September 11 because Al Qaeda is involved. And he says, "Oh man, I had it wrong. I said yes, please bomb me." And so when he says, like, you'd be helping Al Qaeda, the people who attacked you on September 11th, and he says, maybe we wanted to do that. Shit. Even John Stewart was red-pilled on Syria in 2012.
And then he forgot.
It should
probably.
tell you something.
7-Eleven was a part-time job.
Best Valentine's Day card I saw was a barrel of jet fuel giving flowers to a steel beam, and the steel beam was like blushing and saying, you're making me melt."
Jet fuel can't melt steam beams or steel beams. I can't talk right now. It is like early in the morning. Yeah, so fly out, guys, while the getting's good.
But yeah, Syria should not be divided, so
No?
let's not let al-Baghdadi divide Syria.
GTFO out of that whole situation. It's stupid.
Yeah, yep. Exactly, let them handle it. The whole thing is utterly enraging.
So rude.
Again, poll is a board of peace.
Is it though? Ooh, do. I mean, I don't know what else we should do.
I mean, we could just chant, "He will not divide us," like zombies.
He will not divide us. We have hepatitis. We could go
Hebrew gingivitis. Oh, it's like Kyle Broflowski. Hebrew gingivitis.
Such a Jew, Kyle.
Ka, you know those times I called you a Jew? I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. You're not a Jew. What? Yes, I am, fat ass.
No, you did 3 J's.
No, you're being too hard on yourself.
Jew, ginger, Jersey. Is there any red pills we haven't, like, forced on people? It sounds kind of rapey. Red pill on rape. Is there a red pill for rape? Let me know.
Let's see. What is the incident of attempted or completed,
not as dark
rape
as it could
on so when the CDC did this huge survey of like tens of thousands of people, the incidence, that means the number per capita per a period of time. So it's the number of people per year. So the incidence of sexual assault attempted or completed on women in the United States per year is 1 per 100 per year. For men, it's much less than that. But the incidence of made to penetrate, which the CDC counts under a separate category, is 1 per 100 per year, which is very odd that it's the same. And the lifetime prevalence for women is 19%. For men, it's I think 9%, which indicates that it's kind of the same group of men getting victimized more repeatedly.
Huh? Oh, sorry.
You've heard me say that before. It's just some red pills on the CDC stats on sexual assault.
Yeah, sorry, that's why I can't, like, pay attention to everything, because I'm like, oh yeah, I know all this, and just assume it's obvious by now, and realize a lot of people just don't know. Sorry. It's tough being red-pilled for so long. You just assume everybody knows, because it's really obvious. Uh-oh.
Red peeled tomatoes are the best too. Those are delicious.
Yeah.
Should have brought some chalk out here.
Wait, what did that thing say? Oh, some guy is like pouring out his website.
Yeah.
Hoffman?
Music. Done.
No, done.
It says love will be light. And there's a heart. And there's Billy the Kid.
Oh, yeah,
Born
Billy
New York,
Kid
died
is
New
so
Mexico.
lovable. And a big T for Trump.
I'm just glad it's not a lowercase t for time to leave. That would be bad.
Guys, the only thing I'm on is Jane Weeks. I was really excited. I was saying, if I was reading some boards or message systems or whatever, they might be saying that I'm crazy. Which is true. What?
No,
What?
I agree.
What?
I'm saying I agree with you.
That crazy? Yeah. It's true. I was saying, nobody else is coming? Okay.
I just realized, step to the side. Does anyone else see what that looks like?
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, we all see what that looks like. We all see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Think of the children. We got to cover it. Think of the children. We can't let the children see that. Yeah, all you children who were up at 6 in the morning Eastern time.
They can have terrible parents.
All you British kids who are I don't know, watching on your phones during school.
There you go. Oh, yeah. Why did he wave at us?
Yellow lives matter. I don't know. Orange vest lives matter.
I don't know. They weren't friendly.
Maintenance personnel lives matter.
What is that guy's face? Is it Samuel Heido?
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, I want it to be. Fine, I'll check the Oh, I know something great to say. What is it? Mr. Arnold, I think we're back in business.
Mr. Arnold. Oh, yeah. No, it's Mr. Hammond. No, it's like Mr. Arnold. Oh, no.
Mr. Hammond, the phones are working. Lisa back.
Hey, went up the Lisa back? Man, I wish I had that hat for this. And then it would be Russian spies confirmed.
Yes, we are not Russian secret agents from Russia area.
Ooh, so that's one thing I can play.
Rodina.
No, I got this. So,
Oh, that's such a beautiful song.
so good. It's the right one. Oh, it has the ping. One ping only.
Give me a ping, Lazili. One ping only.
I don't know if they'll be able to hear this.
Your fathers and your brothers played game before you and played it well. Brings back the heady days of Sputnik and Yuri Gagarin when the world trembled at the sound of our rockets. Now they will tremble at the sound of our silence. We will sail the coast of the United States and listen to their rock and roll while we conduct missile drills. And then sail to Havana when the sun is warm so we can home that ship. The order is engage the silent drive.
I don't know the Did you watch much of the New York one?
You know, I only watched the highlight reels. You
Oh,
watched more than me.
okay. See. I liked it when Sam Hyde showed up. That was pretty great. He kept getting away with it though.
Ben Shapiro is not alt-right.
Oh my God! Who said that?
Paul Blart.
Ben More like Ben Shakira. Oh, Jackie 4chan? Do we like it or hate it? What?
They said we look like a bank robber couple.
We rob banks. It's like from a movie. Yes, Ben Shapiro is not alt-right. Ben Shapiro is not alt-right.
Wait, is Mustache Bro already leaving? You hate him.
What? Dang.
Huh. And I just posted a picture of IHOP with Kekison and company.
No, Ben Shapiro is a cuck-conservative trying to masquerade as not a cuck-conservative. Not successfully, by the way.
Yeah, by the way,
What?
the Aiders, they asked you taking requests.
What? Huh? Am I taking requests for, like, what songs? What? Do they not like The Hunt for Red October?
And there's no point in checking half Chan is there because, like, I don't know, they keep deleting the threads.
It's just half what they used to be. No, not low battery.
Sam Kekison says that Mustache Bro is not leaving. So, is this like Battlestar Galactica? Is this season like 4.5.
What? Oh, 4.5? Well, we're getting the final 5. It was like we're gonna just pull some people out of our ass.
Remember that guy that we totally said we trolled you into thinking he might be a Cylon because he had dreams about it, and then it turned out that the priest he consulted with his fears about being a Cylon was the actual Cylon, and then he had a kid with someone else. But Cylons can't have kids with humans except for like the one exception of Athena and Hilo. But then it turns out that he's actually Cylon anyway. Yeah, shit retconning, guys.
Oh man, that's bad. I don't know what else you red pill. Red pill on Ben Shapiro. I don't think that counts as red pilling. Yeah, come at me, bro.
Play cheek Greek. Yeah, ID 23CA2C. Why do we not go on 8chan? Like, I'm looking at it right now, dude.
I feel like there's a thing with 8chan right now. I don't know what it is.
8chan is definitely more complicated.
Just don't talk about it.
First rule of Fight Club is shut the fuck up. Liberals, come out and play. Liberals,
all I know is like
come out and play.
No, I can't pronounce it right.
Liberals, come out and play. Great movie, cult classic.
Yeah.
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
That's a pretty good impression.
I thought so, yeah.
I just like doing that kind of stuff, man.
Got 40,000, I don't know how many it was, but there's like 20,000 cops in the city, and yeah.
I like how the chief from Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego is in that movie as the radio announcer.
Well, what's she called?
What?
I can't forget this. Or is it? The, yeah, they gotta get to Coney Island. It's been a while. I need to watch that again. Check out The Warriors. It's fantastic. Defined gang culture for our generation, apparently. Like, wrong generation, probably. But yeah, it's really great. It's so good.
It's also kind of a dystopian look at what they thought New York was going to be like in the
future.
future.
Oh, man, they were right! No.
Actually, they were kind of right, but then
they got wrong?
Rudy Giuliani got elected, and then they started doing stop and frisk.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, basically they'd stop and frisk anyone who looked like they were member of one of those gangs. So if you saw like, I don't know, like 8 guys all dressed up with like makeup and wearing Yankees uniforms carrying baseball bats, you would stop them and frisk them. Or if they were all wearing, like they were shirtless and wearing leather vests and had like feathers in their hair, you'd stop them and frisk them. Or if they, I don't know, were all wearing Valor caps and white jumpsuits and one of them had a fake eyelash, then you would stop them and frisk them.
Yeah. Warriors, super good.
Do you have what is the 5th movement of the 9th? Wait. What is it, the 4th?
Yeah, that movie's kind of a cliche. Unless, of course, I've been wrong this whole time.
But I totally just referenced Clockwork Orange.
You're so cold, though. Oh, I don't know how I feel about this recording.
Sounds like John Williams directed it. Trumpet heavy.
Yeah, that guy with trumpets.
Trumpets aren't entirely a bad thing.
It's true. I believe Ultraviolence.
Ultraviolence?
Who did the old ultraviolence?
Oh man, I was hoping that was a Volkswagen van. Then I'd be like, they found me. I don't know how, but they found me.
They found me!
Who do you think? The Libyans!
The Libyans! Oh no, I don't think it's the Libyans that we have to worry about. Or is it?
Where do you think? Back to Los Estados Unidos Mexicanos. You have to go back.
You have to go back?
You have to go back.
Gotta go back. Come on, Shadows. So that's how I feel every time. I'm like, oh, sorry, fuck up. Lower strings.
Did you go back in time and compose Bachelbel's Canon in D because you hate cellists?
I hate cellists.
Did you go back in time and compose Bachelbel's Canon in D because you hate cellists?
No, I did it to troll cellists. No, I went back in time and tortured Mozart until he hated everything about the violin, apparently.
Did you take away Mozart playing violin with his sister?
Yes.
Did you take away his piano?
No, I took away his cello, bitch.
And what is your piano? Was ist dein,
Das Folk.
Das Volk.
Das Folk.
Was ist dein
I think,
Clave?
Clave? Is that what
And
it
you
is?
press all the keys?
Clave?
Even the Schwarz keys?
Even, they need to be pressed. That's actually a pretty good movie. Gotta think about it right. It's Where is verdad? What?
They want to know the update on Jackie 4chan.
I ate him. I was hungry. I'm sorry.
And the thing is about Chinese, when you eat it, you're hungry half an
You're
hour later.
afterwards. So there's not any Jackie 4chan.
Soylent yellow is people. Just, Asian people. Whereas Soylent green is like, base.
They just weren't fast enough with their rooftop Koreans.
Salieri did nothing wrong.
Aww. Oh wait, this is a good path.
Okay, Jackie wants me to confirm that he's alive. So ID 315 FB9.
He's dead.
You killed him? Not just him, but the women
And the children!
You slaughtered
They
them like
made
animals.
me eat sand.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so also I'm not fucking dead. That's ID 315 FB9. And yeah, that's Jackie says that, so. But we're all well aware that actually a Russian hacker bot has taken over Jackie's account, so that's probably just got hacked like the election, I know this. It's a Unix system. Jurassic Park security system hacked.
Hack the planet!
Election hacked.
Yeah.
Camera hacked.
Hack the camera.
Microphone hacked.
Phone hacked.
Parking meter hacked.
Father 4chan hacked. Okay. Okay, that joke's done.
I want you to blow me a kiss.
Oh. You want me to blow him a kiss? I'm not good at that. It's just gonna look gay. Oh. Oh, my head is so cold. What? Sorry, that's so dumb.
Gaston did nothing wrong.
Gaston!
Okay, Anon on HNS. Are you guys married?
Oh.
Okay, the Targaryens may have wed brother and sister for generations, but that's fucked up, y'all.
Yo, for real.
That is really dumb. For real.
For real. Oh, this is a great
We
part.
got your phone number and your Snapchat and all. You are so dumb.
Shout out to 1488
We got your Snapchat and your mugshots and all. You are so dumb.
For real. The man got away. Brandishing his... I'm sad. I messed it up.
Leaving behind video evidence.
Yeah. I was attacked by some idiot on 7th and Central.
Yeah, Donald Trump, my opinion on him, not my president. God Emperor. Make sure you use the correct title for his position. It's not president.
Oh. I can't look. My hands are cold. I just have to come at him. Ooh, this is a good part. You got a good part. What you got going on there? Hacking in progress.
Jesus, you're so good. It's good.
Jesus. Oh, for people who wanted me to speak German.
Sehr gut. Hallo, Friedrich Soller. Es ist eine große Ehre. Eine große Ehre. Mein Gott, ist Friedrich Soller.
Mein Gott.
Borlami. Europa gehört uns.
Oh, assholes ugly.
This is a salute.
Shout out to Sweden.
This
Guys,
is a
get it
salute to the
together.
Swedish youth from your Western brothers and sisters in the Americas. Sweden is bleeding.
Get
Your
your
once
shit together.
free and rich and prosperous country has been destroyed by an insane plan of mass immigration and multiculturalism forced upon you by bureaucrats in Brussels.
In Brussels. You got that memorized.
It's an inspiring video.
It is inspiring, damn.
Vote for the Swedish Democrats.
But just the right amount of fascism. It's just, it's great.
L'Europe est à nous. Nous sommes la génération qui aime les nations et qui toujours la défendre.
I think I might have frozen my fingertips.
C'est la vie.
La vie.
It's time for us to work for Western civilization, not just Europe, but Western civilization all over the planet, from Australia to Russia. As the video says, Och Freiheit für alle Volks. Freedom for all peoples. But yeah, thank you, President Trump, for red-pilling everyone in Sweden, because the shit that has been happening there is crazy.
I don't want it to happen here. Ugh.
When you would rather have gang rapes happening in the street and
Then be perceived as
grenades being
racist.
thrown. I mean, how is that Christian? How is that? I mean, like, how is that even like morally good? How is that morally good if you'd rather have your women getting gang raped in the streets than say, like, than be called racist by someone? It's just filthy and disgusting. It's unimaginably horrific. I mean, it's virtue
like
signaling.
They don't care about their own people, honestly.
Yeah. No, it's virtue signaling at its worst. Okay, now I definitely want to engage in some ultra violence. I want to have like a rolling knife fight.
Oh yeah,
with, like
super
a Nazi
cool.
LARPing gang.
With your
In our like white jumpsuit Valor hat LARPing gang. What does he call it? 4C Fun Time?
No, that's what 4chan calls it.
No, I think that's actually.
Oh, they call it 4C Fun Time?
Yeah, I think so.
Is rate 4C
No time
Fun
for the old in and out. I'm just here to check the meter. I was cured, all right.
Oh. No. You called it the old in and out. That's what he called it.
Oh, the old in and out.
Yeah.
No time for the old in and out, love. Just here to check the meter.
Okay, what red pill have we forgotten? Okay, we could actually get shot right now, so let's see what happens here. What did he say?
I think he said we're wasting our fucking time.
We're wasting our fucking time, guys! Shout out assholes in the car. They don't know what's up. Well, the stream just went down and we're actually just kind of
Someone posted a picture of Malcolm McDowell.
Is he hitting on it? Yeah. The 4C Fun Time? Uh-oh, this is gonna die.
Grüße nach Albuquerque.
Wait. Ow!
Merci beaucoup. Villeneuve.
Oh, nope, there it goes. My phone's gone.
Yeah, it's just damn cold.
Really?
Yeah, that makes it die faster.
The heat made it die fast. Is it just both?
Man. See, I'm against vandalism because that is a just law and I want to break it, but it'd be so easy just to, just cover up the top part of the O.
Just put a little B in there.
Well, it'd be so easy to change it to he will nut inside us.
I know. I'm sure we could put a Deus Volt in there or something too.
You know what actually, so it doesn't work on this unfortunately, but I noticed on the hashtag on Twitter, he will not divide Deus Volt.
Deus Volt. God wills it.
It ends in Deus. Divi Deus, divine God. Caesar Dios. The divine Caesar.
Hail Caesar. Yeah, so if we saw Caesar, how would we greet him? How's that work? Like if you're a Roman, we wanted to
for example,
some sort of acknowledgement.
Like if you're in the Navy, you give a naval salute, right?
Yeah,
the British Navy, because they would hide the tar on their hands. And so.
And then there's the strict one.
There's like a Boy Scout salute or something, and I don't know, what kind of salute would a Roman give?
How would that go?
I don't know. Is it kind of I don't know. Bill Shatner did it in Star Trek, right? Isn't that it?
Well, no, there was that weird, one that they did in the alternate universe, where they go
Don't the Romulans do that? Too? the Romulans.
Yeah, and then like Hydra does this weird stuff, and I don't know.
Is that fire hydrant nearby? Hail hydrant. I don't see any fire hydrants in. Ah, wait, no, there's one right there. Hail hydrant.
Hail hydrant over there.
There's one on the same wall. It's like, I don't know, 10 yards from here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm not interested anymore, so.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I don't want to bore the stream.
Yes.
We gotta get out while we're on top. Because they'd be like, you were lame as soon as you came. Multiple times.
Hotel Blue. Man,
Ah.
I really want to go up there and shoot balls after
Should
that.
we shout out
Hotel
to
Blue.
Senpai? Should say something.
Ah.
Senpai!
Yeah, Senpai in,
Who's
in
doing a certain
Dallas.
location. Dallas, yes.
Yeah, Senpai in Dallas. We hope you notice us.
Please notice us, Senpai.
Arigato. Arigato.
Very good.
Very good.
You
say he will not divide us, like we say he will not divide us. But yeah, we're not going to let Shy divide us. We're not going to let, paranoid owners of the El Rey divide us. The stream will continue.
The stream must go on. Deus Volt!
Deus Volt. Gott will es. Adieu, vieux.